Welcome to Today with Dr. J, where I give you the guidance and tools to figure out what works for you in your recovery. My name is Dr. D. Jaffe, and I'm here to help you live happier, more purposefully, and without limits. I tend to ruffle some feathers for doing this, but I do away with the notion of once an addict, always an addict, because I believe that anyone can beat their addiction. With the right mindset, tools, support, and education, nothing can stand in your way to success. You don't have to commit to anything but action. You don't have to have anything but motivation. Whether you want to quit, drink less, or simply become more mindful around mental health and addiction, I'm here for you. What I wanted to talk about here today is your ability to control your state. Your ability to control your state. Let's start off with what is state. State is the mode in which you're operating. It's the energy level, the perspective, the way in which you're approaching the world. Why is it called state? It's the opposite of trait. So the idea in psychology is you have trait-based ways of operating and state-based ways of operating. I don't know how many of you know the difference, but I'll just explain it. Trait is supposed to be unchangeable. We don't really buy into that here anyway, but it's supposed to be unchangeable, longer term, harder to change anyway, not easily manipulated by the environment. State, very easily, very quickly manipulated by environmental changes and changes in your current present experience. I firmly believe trait is changeable as well. I've seen it in hundreds and thousands of people. I've seen it in my own life, but we're going to focus on state today because state is actually incredibly easy to change, but we undervalue how powerful of a proposition that is for our lives. And I would argue that oftentimes we act in ways that we don't really love based on state, based on how we're doing in the moment. And we forget, or nobody ever taught us, and you will never be able to say that after today, we forgot, or we've never been taught that we can actually alter that state relatively easily, relatively quickly. The idea is simple. You are a certain kind of person. That's why you do what you do. I've talked about these things before. If you want, I've written articles about this. There's something called the fundamental attribution error that is something all of you should know about. We talk about it in the program, but I've also written articles about it. Massively relevant as to why we always identify our causes, our states, the reasons why we behave. Whereas for other people, a lot of times we think it's who they are, it's their personality. But again, when it comes to your state, we use because of it. And yet weirdly, we believe this thing from the outside that we are a certain kind of people. So you guys show up to these meetings oftentimes for the first few times saying, well, I'm an addict, I'm an alcoholic, I'm a fill in the blank. Well, I'm here to show you that at least oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes it's the state that is making you behave in a certain way, and that there are ways that you can change it. This is a really, really important concept though. You can identify that you're in a state you don't like and that you would like for it to change and have nothing else happen. Just knowing that the state is something you dislike or you feel aggravated about or you would like to alter, just knowing it doesn't do anything for us. This is true so often in the things that we talk about. Education is important because I've said this many, many times before, but I think we are the most scared and anxious about the things that we don't understand. So understanding those things removes a lot of the anxiety, tension, fear, etc. about the topic, but it doesn't change it. Tools, practices, habits, rituals over time change it. I want to give you the simplest example I could think of when I was preparing for this, right? I think everybody knows what these two things are. Hopefully you can see them. This is a nail and this is a screw. Okay. I know what this nail does, right? I understand it. Does really wanting this nail to go into the wall so that I can hang a picture on it, does it do anything? I would really like for this nail to be on the wall and then I could hang the picture I'm trying to hang on it. No, it does nothing. Does really wanting this screw to go into the piece of machinery that it's supposed to hold together so that it doesn't fall apart, does that make the machinery stay stable and does it make it stop itself from falling apart? No, it doesn't. I can understand what these things do and I can understand how they're supposed to be used and I could really want it to happen and it doesn't do anything. Wanting it doesn't change it. What does change are practices and habits. So obviously, if I have a nail, I need a specific tool for it. I need a hammer. If I have a hammer with a nail, I can put it in the wall and hang a picture, right? But a hammer doesn't do anything for my screw. I have a screw and I put it up against the wall and I hammer it in. I just messed up my wall and I messed up the screw. We need to understand what's happening and where we're trying to go. We need to understand how to use the thing that's in front of us, how to alter the state. And then we need to have the tool to be able to do it. So I'm going to present you with a few different versions of that today, but the road is endless. The options are literally just infinite in terms of what states you may find yourself, what tools may be available, and the combination that will help you. That is our job together to help you identify what are the tools. You learn, I don't know, upwards of 50 of them in the program. What are the things that it helps, and how do I match them together for you? You are this. We're looking for the tools that help get you where you want to get, and your tools will be unique and will be used in a unique way to you. Now, we've talked about this in some generic ways before, but I want to get a little bit more specific about it. Your version of this does not have to be my version of this. Okay, let me just be very clear about it. But you have a version of this. It exists. Music is a huge energy changing tool. You've been down and you walked by a restaurant that was playing a cool song that you love and you're like, oh my God, I feel better. You're in a shitty mood. You walk into a friend's house and they just happen to be putting on a playlist you love and you go, oh, this is the best, right? And vice versa. You've walked into a party before or an event at a friend's, loving the moment, and they play some stuff and you go, this can't be. I can't spend the evening here like this. So there's no way that's going to work out. Here's the issue with all those situations I just brought up. We all do it. The issue is we're leaving it up to other people to control our state. But I plead with you to start taking control of the energy that you are having produced around yourself when you want to change your state. I'm begging you to start acknowledging and recognizing and appreciating the level of control you have over your state. I'm going to give you an example, a personal example. You guys know I'm all about radical transparency in here. Running Ignited is hard. It hasn't been easy. It's been like a 4-year grudge, and the rest of the world calls me insane all the time. Hard. And it's not making me any money, but it's all good. 3 weeks ago or something like that, I work out every morning, right? One room over and by the garage. I was just feeling down. It was the beginning of the week. I just really wasn't feeling like I wanted to do everything that week would require of me to do. And I love my job. And this thing hit me. I saw myself, right? I saw myself in the state, wishing it to go away. Oh, God, I don't want to feel like this. If this is what it feels like on a Monday, what the hell is it going to feel like by Friday, right? I saw it and I did the thing we've seen it. Maybe you saw it in a Rocky movie. Maybe you saw it in something else. I don't care what you've seen, but I literally started jumping rope and I started talking to myself. I'm in the middle of the street on the sidewalk. And I just started talking to myself while I'm jumping rope. I'm like, you got this. Nobody else can do this as well as you can right now. Just go out. It's Monday, kick ass this week. And I just talked to myself for 2 minutes while jumping rope. The jumping is literally energizing, right? So it's literally driving adrenaline into my system. That's another huge hack. Those tiny little trampolines that are the size of 4 feet. Those things are one ways to jump if you don't want to hurt your joints, but jumping up and down delivers adrenaline, dopamine, and is actually good for regulating your endocrine system. It's another hack. So I literally just said, I'm like, okay, I know what works here. I need positive affirmations. I need my energy to go up. And I started jumping rope, talking to myself. By the time a minute and a half, 2 minutes were done, it was over. Wasn't feeling down anymore. Too often we start believing that we have to analyze the trauma we had with our parents and work through the fact that we felt, our math teacher undermined us when we were 7 and that we moved around a lot. And those things are useful, right? The logical, cerebral processing of our experiences is huge, huge. But you can hack your state at any moment without it. I'm not saying it's not worth to do the long-term talk and work. I believe that is useful. But in the moment, what you need is a quick way to get over the feeling that you have. That doesn't involve necessarily drinking. That doesn't involve doing a drug. That doesn't involve doing the shit you're trying to do less of anyway. That doesn't matter, right? We're here for you to have the day you want, the week you want, the month you want, the year you want, the next decade that you want to have in your life. These are the things that can help make those little momentary decisions so much easier. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found the lessons helpful in your recovery. Click below to like, comment, and subscribe. Plus, if you want to find out more about the work that we do at Ignited, visit IGNTD.com for more.